Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Anything Goes. My name's Andrew Deacon, and today I'm proud to be joined by Mikey Sakyi. Mikey, how you doing, my man?
I'm all good, my guy. How are you?
It's all good. It's all good. As I was saying off camera, it's been 3 years since I last saw you. It's 3 years since I last interviewed you. So I'm going to take you back, and I probably asked you the question there, but it was in a rush. Obviously, you just won the English
Yeah.
title. Uh, Taking you back a little bit, where did the desire come from to become a professional boxer?
I don't know, everyone seems to have like some kind of backstory onto why they become a I just liked it. And yeah, I just liked it. I think maybe I've got a bit of an addictive personality. So when I focus on something, that's it. I'm just locked in on that. Yeah, so I think it fits my personality type a little bit. I'm not really into the team sports. I like doing stuff by myself for myself kind of thing. So yeah, depending on myself. So yeah, I think I just took to boxing rather than the football, basketball, rugby, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And you talk about that in terms of basketball or football. Were you a fan of either sport or not really?
I used to watch football when I was younger. Um, Not overly. I can play a little bit, but yeah, I never overly got stuck into the team sports.
And it's
Yeah.
something like you say, then a lot of athletes have said this to me in the past, and you understand the ideology where they say that if you're a defender and you make a mistake, or you're a striker, or you're a midfielder, you got other people to depend on. But when you're a boxer, it's only you and it's only you in there.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
um, as a professional boxer, it's only you in there. It's like a soldier at war, but at the
Mhm.
same time, you've got no one else behind you. You've got no one else. The second you
Mhm.
take that ring walk and you step in those ropes and the square circle, it's only you. So, talk about not only the pressure, but how better is it that you don't have to rely on someone else? And it's just you and it's only you and it's all that
Yeah.
training that's gone into fight camp.
Yeah. Um, yeah, like you say, once you get in the ring and you know you've done all the training yourself, you haven't cut no corners, you've done your diet properly, you've made the weight properly, you've done your runs, everything, you're sparring, every box has been ticked. It, it's a bit of a peaceful feeling, and it's like you can't blame anyone else. No one else has control over the outcome. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you and you alone. You might not get the decision, you might not win the fight, but at the end of the day, if you know you've done the best you can be happy with that, if that makes sense. And there's no one else's mistake. Well, the referee can make a mistake and and ruin it for you, but yeah, no one else's mistakes can interfere with your performance, if that makes sense.
And obviously, it's not for me to talk about. We're here to talk about you. But mentioning that the Usyk fight, did you agree with that, or do you think that was premature?
No, I think it was a fair stoppage. I think if the ref let him come out for the 12th round, it could have been even worse. So yeah, I think it was fair.
And again, going back onto you, and it's an important point because, like you say, boxing is a lonely sport in the sense that I always see these posts online. It says the support when you're in the gym alone, and then the support when you've made it. Everyone's cheering. You've got the full arena. Talk about that as well. And there's a huge quote that goes on me, and it says, if you want to perform in front of 60,000 fans or 100,000 fans, you've got to outwork 100,000 people in the gym alone. So
Yeah,
just talk about that.
100%, 100%. I don't think the people, well, some people who come to watch boxing understand how much work and sacrifice um goes into fight night alone. People think fight night, you're doing 10 rounds, you're just here for half an hour's work, you're getting paid for half an hour's work, but they don't see the 10 to 12 weeks before that. They don't see the times when you're messaging me for an interview and I'm like, you know what, bro, I've had a hard day's training. I'm in a bad mood. Like we're not gonna get a good interview today. Do you get what I mean? They don't see when your kids and wife want to go out for a nice dinner or want to go out to the park and have a nice time, you're too tired from training, you can't be bothered, and you're just asleep and they're carrying on with normal life, you know. I think a lot of that stuff goes amiss, but at the same time, it's what we want to do, and it's worth it at the end of the day. You know, you only live once, so you've got to do what you want to do and push yourself to the best you can.
No, and I appreciate that. And you say that there, and a lot of athletes have said this over the years, and the sacrifice is worth it when you see the belts, when you see the legacy, when you see the money at the end of the day. But talk about how many birthday parties or days out do you end up missing when you're in that 10 to 12 week camp, or not even
Yeah,
just a 10 to 12 week camp, the whole boxing journey, because you
yeah.
don't have a day off.
You miss everything. So before that English title fight, the kids and the wife went on holiday. I couldn't go. There was one fight. My sister was getting married. I missed my sister's wedding on the same night I was fighting. Yeah, you miss so much, and yeah, it's it's stuff you're not going to get back. But we make that choice. You know, we've got to live with that.
So going back onto the boxing, I wanted to ask you where I started with where did the desire come from to become a professional boxer? Talk about the amateur career. Did you have an amateur career or?
I only had 9 amateur fights. Yeah, I only had 9 amateur fights. I went to uni in Brighton, so I boxed for a club there, and then when I came back, I boxed for a club in Edmonton. But yeah, I was a pretty average amateur. I only had 9 amateur fights, and then I moved on to the unlicensed slash white collar boxing scene. I had a few there before I turned pro, so I had a very limited boxing background before I did turn pro, but I feel like I've kind of picked it up pretty well.
And then gone to the pro career. Obviously, like I said again, people will look at your record, but people don't see the actual journey. You've been in the fight game for such a long time, and
Yeah,
people will only highlight maybe the Southern Area title wins,
yeah,
the McKenna fight, and
yeah,
obviously the Dennis Nakaya fight. But talk
yeah.
about the journey so far. What's been the highest of the highs, and what's been the lowest of the lows so far?
To be honest, I don't see any lows in my career. I'm not one of those people that are scared of an L. Um, I kind of welcome them because they're the fights you learn from the most. And I feel like after every loss, I've bounced back and gone on to the next level. So like if you see my first loss against Jamie Carley, I came back and then I lost against Danny Wright, who was a elite ABA boxer champion. And then straight after that fight, I won the Southern Area because those two fights I really learned from. They were both pressure fighters, and then I learned how to deal with Ozgul, who was a top pressure fighter. And then who did I lose to after that? Then I lost to McKenna. Then I came back. Um, yeah, it's just learning from each loss. They're more valuable. I feel like they're so much more valuable than the wins because when you're winning, you're not looking at what you did wrong. You're just too busy gassed up celebrating. But when you lose, you sit down, you reflect, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And yeah, so I'm coming off a loss against K Prosper, who I just found out is Aaron Prosper's cousin. Um, so yeah, gonna have a big bounce back win against his cousin, yeah.
And we'll get onto that in a minute. I just want to break down your little bit of the career which you mentioned there. How important was it? Like you said, you don't let L's affect you, but how important was it the CR Osgood fight and winning the Southern Area and defending it? Because not many people defend it; they just win it once
Yeah.
and they go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, it was important to defend it. I feel like that was probably a key part of my development. Winning that Southern Area gave me the confidence that I could do the rounds, I could carry the power late in them rounds, I can take shots because Osgood was on me all night. And yeah, it gave me a lot more confidence, a lot more understanding of how to manage the rounds, manage your energy, and understanding of how to relax in the ring. And then you see that in my defense, I was really relaxed and I got a first round KO, not just a stoppage. It was a full on KO um, win, which was really good. Gave me confidence again to step up another level.
And Tyron McKenna, what do you make of him? Do you think he's world level, or do you think he's yet to be shown on a world scene what he can actually do?
Tyrone, I wouldn't say he's world level. I think he's on the back end of his career now. So at the stage I fought him, he was probably knocking on European fringe, yeah, kind of level. But he was a really good fighter. One thing I realized about the fight game is you can hurt someone, but everyone's tough. I hurt him. I thought I'd be able to get him out of there, but he was a tough guy, and he managed to change his game plan pretty early on in the fight, and I wasn't able to adapt. So then he managed to take a points win away for himself, and yeah, so that's another learning experience for me in that fight. But yeah, no, I wouldn't call him world level, especially now where he's on the back end of his career. But he was definitely European level back then. Yeah.
And that just show, obviously, it's like you said, you don't let the losses get you up, but that show where you are and how far you can go still as well.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, I'm just got my eyes set on the British title, but I've got to get through this one first. So yeah.
Then we go on to the Dennis Nikaya fight. I think probably would you say highlight of your career, English title, fourth round stoppage with the body.
Uh, yeah, it was. You'd call it a highlight because it's my biggest achievement, isn't it? Um, I'm a little bit different. Of course, I was happy at the time of the win. We celebrated for a week or so, but then we're just straight back into normal life. Life goes on, and I try not to get too caught up in the wins and not too caught up in the losses. This is boxing for me is just something that I've decided to do. Whatever comes my way, leave it all up to God, and I'm just grateful to be here and to still be active. It's my 10th year as a professional. I'm 35 now, so maybe I've got a little bit of time left. We don't know, so I'm just grateful to be here, still be active, still be on big shows, still have my name in the mix of the domestic scene, So yeah, I'm just enjoying it, taking it one day at a time. That's all you can do. You can't get too caught up in, oh, what's going to happen in the future, the future, the future. You just gotta thank God for today and yeah, keep going.
Love that, brother. And like you said there, let's go on to it now. K Prosper, talk about that fight. And with Aaron, he was on the Goodwin scene as well, the Southern Area
Mhm.
champion. Obviously, this fight could have probably been on a Goodwin show, but you get when one door closes, another one opens. You've got it now live on the zone in a big arena in the copper
Yeah.
box. So, like
Yeah.
you said earlier, talk about the K fight. And are you looking to avenge that loss? Obviously, not against him, but are you looking for revenge in other areas?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it revenge. But yeah, I'm looking to win. So with the K Prosper fight, I think that was like we said earlier about being an individual sport. I think I let myself down a little bit in that fight. Not what's the word? People say I wasn't active enough in the fight, but I don't think it was that. I think it was my concentration I let slip in those middle rounds. I tried to pick it up in the later rounds, but by then it was too late. He was already on a roll. He already had his momentum. So this fight is going to be about just keeping that concentration, keeping that intensity, and yeah, coming out with a win.
And do you read anything into this? Obviously, I've spoken to several fighters. Um, he's the A side on the post, of course, Southern Area
Oh,
champion.
no,
You've
that
won the
that doesn't
English.
mean that doesn't mean nothing to me. I've every title I've won, I've been on the B side, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
Do you think you're the underdog in this fight, or do you think you're going to cause the upset?
I don't know what people think, to be honest. They might see me as the underdog, but really has Aaron boxed at my level? No, so we don't know.
Have you watched Aaron's career so far? Or did you get your coaches to do that?
I've only seen a little bit of him, to be honest, not too much. Sorry, I've got Don Charles ringing me. Sorry.
That's more important than
Oh,
me. Take that.
yeah. Oh no, it's all right. I'll ring him back after. Sorry. Go on.
I remember I was doing an interview once with Lee Eaton, and he had a phone call from Frank Warren, and he kindly declined that 3 times. So I was like, wow.
Yeah.
But Yeah, okay, so stylistically, how do you think the matchup goes, and what do you do better than him, and what do you think he can cause in terms of like his Arsenal? What do you think? And he's an Arsenal fan as well, but yeah.
I'm not sure, because I haven't watched too much of him. He looks like he's a good boxer, isn't he? I haven't seen him being overly aggressive and what's the word? Overly aggressive and just like swinging wild shots. He picks his shots really well, but then I pick my shots really well, so it might blend into a good little stylistic fight. But he might have a totally different game plan, so we've just got to wait and see what it's like on the night.
And again, by all means necessary, God willing, you get the W, you get the win. Do you look for the stoppage, or is it just whatever will be, will be?
That's one thing I've learned as well from my previous experiences. When you start looking for the stoppages, everything starts to go wrong. So the number one plan is just to stay loose and relaxed in there, pick my shots, just work off the jab, keep it nice and simple. And then, like everyone sees, I've got that one punch stoppage power. So as long as I stay relaxed and pick the right shots, you never know what's going to happen. So yeah, just keep that in my locker.
Final question on the Aaron fight. What is your message to the fans? What is your message to everyone that's bought tickets? And what can they expect on the night?
To everyone that's bought tickets, I want to say a big, big thank you. You don't understand how much it means because we all have to sell a certain amount of tickets, and if we don't, then we either got to pay for the remaining amount or we don't get on the show. So for everyone that's bought tickets, like we're really, really, really grateful, and that's for all boxers, not just me. And what to expect on the night? Just a good night of boxing. It's a really good show. I'm excited to see what happens in all the other fights. And yeah, I'm just excited. It's gonna be a good night. The first Gladius MF Pro show. So yeah, it's gonna be good.
And lastly, before I let you go, which I believe I asked you 3 years ago, maybe it could have changed in that time. I asked everyone this question. What is your one motivational message for the world, for fans to block out the outside noise, block out the haters, block out the negativity, and follow and pursue their dreams?
Do what you want to do. Listen, at the end of the day, no one's even watching what you do. They might say a one comment or have a one opinion, but then the next day they're too worried about what's going on in their life. So you don't need to worry about what other people are thinking, what other people are saying, what other people are doing. Everyone's got their own problems that they're focusing on. Everyone's got their own achievements that they're focusing on. So just focus on yourself and keep going.
God bless Mickey Sakyi and Mikey Sakyi, sorry. And all the best on fight night.
Nice one. Take care.